Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. In a previous video, we looked at the Thompson Chain Reference Bible and saw all of the features and compared it to the original. In this one, I'm going to compare the three sizes because it's available in regular size, handy size, and a large print. And that will be the case for every translation that is released in the new Comfort Print design. So I will go ahead and get these open, and I'm also going to show the Premier Collection, because even though it is the same font size as the regular edition, since it does have the 36 GSM European paper, and since it has goatskin leather, it is a lot different in size. The box actually looks like it would fit the large print. So let's go ahead and measure and weigh all of them, and then I will compare them to the originals. So I'm rounding up just a little bit because it's hard to get it exact there. But the handy size looks like 5 1/4 wide by 8 7/8. And I'm giving you the overall size because that's the size you need to know if you're putting this in a case. And it is 1 inch and almost 3/4 inch. 1 3/4 wide or thick. The regular size is almost 6 7/8 by 9 5/8, and the thickness is going to be the same on all these, about 1 5/8 thick. Large print. In another video, we're going to go over the covers. 7 3/8, 10 5/8. And 1 3/4. Then the Premier Collection. Now this one has a yap. And I'm going to review this one in a different video, but I'll show it a little bit in this one too. So this one has a large yap, and anytime I'm measuring, I like to show the outer size instead of the trim size. The trim size is what they give you in promotional material, but that doesn't help you if you're trying to find a case to put this in. If you really want to know the size of it, you need to know the overall size. So for that, I'm going to bend this down just a little bit, and this one has a rounded spine, which I prefer. I am a rounded spine guy. That looks good. So it's going to be a little bit more of an estimate than the others was. So we're looking at 6 3/4. By 9 1/4. And that is the trim size when I bend that down. So it's going to add a little bit more to that. And this one is going to be, I'm going to say 1 7/8 wide. And that's due to that thicker paper. That thick, opaque, premium European paper. That is a good addition right there. So let's go ahead and weigh all of them. Now, some of these are going to be a little bit different in their weight if you change the cover, because they are available in different covers, which we're going to see that in a different video also. So the handy size in bonded leather is 2 pounds 4.2 ounces. The regular size in imitation leather, leather soft, is 3 pounds 0.2 ounces. The Premier Collection, 3 pounds 11.2 ounces. And the large print, 3 pounds 8.4 ounces. So now let's compare the three sizes: the regular, the handy size, and the large print. So the regular is an 9.5 point font, and that is a true 9.5 point. And all three of these are red letter. The Premier Collection is black letter. So here is a 9.5 point font. The handy size is an 8 point font. All three sizes have the exact same pagination, although the handy size does have this extra space down here. But you'll see that I just turned to a random page. You'll see that they're exactly the same pagination, page numbering, everything is exactly the same. That's great for making a good combo, because you could use one for carry, one for study, one for preaching. That's excellent. The handy size has about an inch margin in the footer. I'm not sure why that is, but I do like that it's there. So this one is taller for its shape than the others are. So here is how they compare. This is the 8-point font for the handy size versus the 9.5-point font for the regular size. Size comparisons. And then we'll see them this way. Thickness on all of them is the same except for the Premier Collection, which is thicker because of the thicker paper. This is the 30 GSM versus the 36 GSM. And then a little bit taller for the regular size and quite a bit wider. I like the size and shape of these. I love this size here especially, the regular size. I like the size of all of these. I'm a handy size guy, and that is a lot easier for me to use than the original. The original is great too. They all are. So let's compare the large print to the regular. Our 9.5-point font versus a 10.5-point font. And these are also red letter, so let's get that over there to the red letter just to compare. So quite a bit difference in the footprint. Same thickness, but the large print is quite a bit taller and a touch wider. So if I was carrying one, I would want to carry the regular size or the handy size. So if I was going to carry one, I would carry the handy size or the regular size. If I was going to preach from one, I would preach from the large print, unless I'm okay with a 9.5-point of the regular size. But this 10.5 is great for preaching. This is the one that I used, and you'll see this in the Zondervan channel. Zondervan has produced several videos on how to use the Thompson Chain Reference, and I used this Bible. So here's how they compare. The 8-point font versus the 10.5. So we might as well compare their footprint. Thickness is the same. And of course the large print is quite a bit taller, quite a bit wider. So that's how all three compare. Now let's compare them to the original Kirkbride editions. Now I only have the NIV in the regular size, and my large print and my handy size is a KJV, but it'll get the idea across. So let's start with the hardcover, and since I'm using hardcover in the Kirkbride, I will go ahead and use the hardcover in the Zondervan. So here is the size difference. Thickness is about the same. Overall footprint is just about the same. The Kirkbride is a little shorter, but not a lot shorter. The main difference is going to be the text. Both are red letter, so we'll find some red letter to compare. So there's how they compare. The Zondervan is a 9.5-point font, and the Kirkbride is an 8-point font. And since this one is NIV, we'll go ahead and look at some of the maps in the back and see how they compare. So here's how the maps look. Big difference in the design style. And just to show, the handy size is also an 8 point, so we'll compare the 8 points. In case you have the regular size or the handy size, give you an idea of how they compare. A little bit of red there. So this is the handy size in Zondervan with an 8-point font versus the regular size Kirkbride in an 8-point font. And then we'll see the size difference. Height is the same, thickness is the same, but the difference is going to be the width. Here's the handy size. And again, this is a KJV that I'm comparing to for the Kirkbride. Thickness is about the same. The handy size Kirkbride is a little bit shorter, and they're about the same width. And that shortness is taken up by the difference in height is taken up by the extra inch in the bottom. Now we're talking about an 8-point font versus a 7-point font. Both are red letter. So here's how they compare. So that's the handy size. And then finally the large print. Now my large print Thompson is the Kirkbride text block with the KJV store cover. So this is a lambskin cover with a Kirkbride text block. And this one is a 9-point font versus the 10.5-point font of the Zondervan. Also red letter. So here is how they compare. And there's our footprint. The Kirkbride block is a little bit wider, but this does have a touch of a yap on it, but not a whole lot. But still, it's a little bit wider. Thickness is about the same. They're about the same height. And footprint is, it's really close. It's almost the same. Kirkbride is just a touch wider, if I can get them to stand correctly. Almost the same. And now I want to show the regular size Zondervan 9.5-point font compared to the Kirkbride 9-point font large print. The typeface on the Zondervan is a little thicker, and so it's darker. And then the footprint is the large difference, of course. Here's how they compare. Might be easier to see from the top. Quite a bit difference in size in the footprint. And here is a look at the Premier Collection, because it actually does look larger than the regular size, even though they do have the same font. And partially that is due to the yap, because it has quite a bit more yap. Footprint is about the same, but it does have 36 GSM paper, so it's a thicker block. And it's built like a tank. More opacity on its paper, which I prefer. This one's a black letter edition versus the red letter in all the other editions. So we'll compare black letter to black letter, get an idea of how they compare. The Premier Collection is a darker font and also more opacity on the paper, so it comes across a little bit sharper. So that is how the Premier Collection compares to the regular edition. And since the Premier Collection does have a larger footprint, I want to show it compared to the large print edition. And looking from above, they look to be the same, but you can see the difference in the trim size. So there's the difference. It's easier to see this way. And then we'll compare print in this also. I enjoy both. So here's how they compare. So that is a quick look at all the sizes of the Thompson Chain Reference from Zondervan. This is the new Comfort Print edition. In a different video, I will compare the different covers, including the Premier Collection, and also I will do another video just of the Premier Collection. So that's all three sizes: the handy size, the regular size, the large print, and then the regular size Premier Collection, which actually comes across a little larger because of the leather. I will place links in the notes so that you can make a purchase if you're interested, and that does help the channel. And then also I'll place links to BibleBuyingGuide.com where you can see the written review and you can see the photos with more detail. And Zondervan did supply these in exchange for an honest review. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.